Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Copperhead Customs. We're pumping them out at the moment, aren't we? So, today we'll give you a walk around on our Oakland. So this is one of my favourites. This is a special car, this one. This is a 1928 Oakland. It was a tourer. If you know what a tourer is, it's would have been a 4-door with a little curvy bit, and it would have had a big canvas top back in the day. I think this might have actually been like a coach or something, I don't know. But anyway, the Oakland is a GM product. So back in 1928, this was, an Oakland was the pinnacle, pinnacle, is that the word? Pinnacle, which is the best product that GM did. So they had Cadillacs, and they started Pontiacs. So in the same sort of vintage, and they had these, and they had Chevs. Okay, so this and a Pontiac, you can get a Pontiac the same year. It looks very similar, but it won't be as pimped out. It won't have all the extras that this had. So you'll very rarely find a Pontiac with this setup. So yeah, I think these were slightly bigger, but yeah, so these are very rare, especially over here in Australia. There is not many at all that I know of. I can't actually find any, but I know that there is a few over here, but they are rare. So this was another one of the 15-year project that, man, it wasn't even as far as it is now. That I don't know if it beats them, or they get sick of them, or I don't know, they take them. Maybe it's like me. Maybe this will be me in 15 years. Maybe someone will get a few of mine. I don't know, because I've got, as you know, I don't even know how many I've got on the go. But some people do get carried away. This is the issue with people and their projects, is they get carried away. They want to all build a Boyd Coddington car. Well, you can build a Boyd Coddington car, but you can't build 10 of them at once. Okay, so some people can't even get one of them pumped out. There's a lot of extra work that goes into bringing them up to that sort of a standard. Now, personally, I don't take them to that standard. Got no intention of. I'd rather get it on the road and drive it. Makes much more sense to me to actually enjoy the car, bring it up to a nice level and drive it, not turn it into a show car that you don't even want to take out of the garage. So my plan with this I'll tell you that in a minute. We'll go over it in a sec, and I'll show you all its features and all the cool stuff and what the plan is and how it's being built. This will be another one like our 32 that will get street rod registration in. So this has to go through all the engineering inspections. This one will. So like our Bedford won't have to go through that process, because we have numbers for the Bedford, and so it can be re-registered under its old numbers. Whereas this has nothing, and this is a complete customized car. So this is has to be engineered, but we'll go through that in a minute. So if you haven't seen any of our other stuff, you need to look down here, and there's a heap of them now. There's nearly 30 movies out now. So there'll be heaps of different stuff for you to look at. Some's interesting, some you might not find interesting. But yeah, we'll get onto this soon. I'm hanging to get this in the shed and start working on it. Actually, I'm just trying to free some room and space and get an arm that works so I can actually do some work. But anyway, enough malarkey. We'll come back in 2 seconds. You can go listen to some music for 20 seconds while I go get a drink, and then when we're back, we'll do a walk around. All right? Reaper.
love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just double up. Don't be scared. To my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just double up. Don't be scared.
Ooh, back. Right, so I've had my iced coffee, so I'm feeling refreshed. I don't know what you did. Oh, that's right, you just went and watched the song. So hopefully you're feeling refreshed and hyped up after that music. Who knows what I put on it? So we'll start at the front. Start at the front and work back. Wicked big lights, eh? I've got full I don't know, like a redo kit thing to do it all anyway. To do it all inside and all that. So we've got all that. It's the refurbished kit we've got for them. The grill's brass. So this will actually, I don't know if I'll leave it like this or if I'll actually metal polish it and shine it up. But we're running that. Now I don't know if that came with it or not. So all you rat rod, hot rod gurus, drop a comment down below of what you reckon that's off, if it is off this or not. Now I don't think that's where it's meant to sit. I think it's meant to go behind the lights bar thing there, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I think. So I kind of like it out there, but I don't know. We're not sure. And then the other thing I was looking at was I'll send you out here. Hopefully I've got you lined up. I don't know. Maybe doing that. I'll tell you what. You're going to get ugly on the camera here for a second. I'll put this bit of wood under it, and then we can actually stand back and have a look at what we think, and you can throw a comment of what we think of that angled. Yeah, there's some horrid camera work, but yeah, that's something I'm thinking of, having that angled, maybe even a bit more angled, give it a bit of an aggro look. So yeah, we're not sure about the angle of that, right? So drop a comment of what you guys think about the angle of that, and drop a comment of what you guys think about whether this should be where it is, where I've got it, or whether it should go behind this bar. Now there's the room, there's heaps of room for it to go behind that bar, and I think originally it probably would have. But kind of, I don't know, I don't mind it there. Now, we'll keep rambling. We have a Jag front end. Obviously we've got no springs or shocks in there at the moment, and the wheel's not on the ground, so don't go looking at the heights. Now this isn't in yet, this is just sitting in there on the jack. I haven't tacked it in, I haven't squared it up. Okay, now the car itself is on a little jig. So originally this was in, but the car wasn't square. So it was cut back out, and the jig made, the car is completely squared up perfectly now and braced and everything. And so this is ready to come back and be welded back in. And then of course it's not all tight, we're going to have to put new, well, where I live is the Jag specialist, lives in town. Now he's like the best engine rebuilder for Jags, but I'll go talk to him about all this. He might even have some stuff. I think I've got the springs, I'm not sure if I've got the shocks though, but he'll know all about where to source all these bits best. So yeah, we'll put all new bushes and stuff through that. Okay, so when that gets welded in, so I'm going to actually tack that in while it's up here before I send it down to the shed. So that's that. Now with the chassis itself, as you can see, it's a C chassis. Now we're actually boxed in. It's hard to get yours in there, but we can come from, well, I don't know, from back about there where my hand is. It's all been boxed in. Now it's been boxed in with another C, if that makes sense. So if we sit here, so here's the chassis like this, and instead of just putting a plate like that, it's had a little C, another little small C made, and then welded in. And then we've also had where the engine mount brace bolts, that's all been reinforced. So it's been boxed in with 4mm, so you only need to box it in for 3mm. So I'll actually reverse a little bit. With the street rods in Queensland, you have to box the chassis completely. Okay, so you have to box the chassis with 3mm plate. We've gone one step further and we've done it with 4mm plate. And then let's see if we can get you down in there a little bit, where the engine mount thing is in here, bolted in here. It actually has an extra plate reinforcing put on there. So we're probably nearly running like we've probably nearly got a 10mm plate there to there. Okay, and you can see it's a nice, sorry for the sniffles, but it's freezing cold up here today, and I've been doing a bit of gardening. So we've actually got a nice tube going underneath, bolted here and here for our engine mounts. So we're running a Ford 302 Cleveland in it. Dead stock here, I'm pretty sure. It's all dead stock. As you can see, we've got the big single barrel carb on there. It's a nice runner. The motor is a good runner. Power steering. So we need to do the belts, we need leads. We have to plumb up a radiator. I've got a radiator in the shed that I may use, may not. I think that's out of a Commodore. So you get a old Commodore radiator that's this way, and you actually and put it vertical and just change your things. That's what a lot of the hot rodders over here do. So whether we run that or whether we just go buy one that fits in there, is another thing. So we've got that. I've got a little thermo fan for it, but we'll have to put a proper fan on as well. Right, we'll head down here. We've got the original running boards. If I come on this is probably the worst side. And if we come here and zoom back a bit, we'll actually see how the wheel's nicely centered in that guard. So this was one of the last owner was very pedantic on having the right front end in it. having the right, this being in the right centered, and also, sorry for that, when we go this way, having it correctly here. So if we look there like that, wheel's not quite straight, but see where it's perfectly proportioned. Now this is a pet hat of mine, is when you see them and they just stuff the car and they put the wrong fronts in, and the wheels are too far out or too far in, or they're just not. It just kills the look of the car. Okay, so this is actually very well proportioned where that is going to go. So I only just jacked this up in there this morning just to show you guys, and I'll mess around with that exactly. So it's not exactly in the right spot, but it's within 5 mil. So yeah, so we'll get out the measuring tools later and we'll put that exact. Now, so we got the guards on. We'll go on the other side. Look at the other guard. As I showed you before, the other guard has this this beautiful wheel well, and this very nice little piece there we got. So now, of course, this would have had the big wheels on them, big skinny wheels. So we have a couple of options. We either run a skinny spare, kind of like a space saver, but different, I suppose. We might just get a chrome stocky or whatever. We could run a little skinny that we put in there, or we could just get an exact same wheel, and we could actually go in here and open this up. But then we're going to have the same issues here, that this isn't wide enough. So I'm leaning towards just getting a little skinny wheel that goes in there. Okay, now the floor, you'll see there's got a bit of roach. Now originally I was going to cut it out and shape a piece and weld it in, but I'm coming up with something different. I don't think I'm not going to leave it. I'm going to repair it, I think, but I don't know. I'll explain later to the extent. We won't even talk about the finish of the car at this stage, right? We'll come back over it again. Right, so then we have these. This is the air conditioning in 1928, and these all work. All right, beautiful, another beautiful piece. We have these door hinges. Now, I'm pretty sure these are either a Morris or an Austin. I'm pretty sure they're off the back doors, like off the little vans. Now, I think they call these bear claw hinges, and these are actually very sought after. As them, we've got a very solid cowl, I think they call that. Now we've got our windscreen stocks here that are made, and we have these little chrome pieces. Now there's actually another piece down in that goes across the top, a little part of the top part of the frame, and the plan is to just put our little glass in and just have like a little rubber on the bottom there, so it actually won't be sealed in here. They'll actually, whatever can get under there. This is a roadster, man. Well, so yeah, it's not gonna be watertight. So that's the plan on that. So we got that. That's easy peasy. We got a period old school wooden steering wheel. Now this I will sand up. We've got all the center cap. Now this was I think this might have been a Momo or something. It was a flash one. Anyway, so we've got all that. I will probably sand this up and do some of my crazy woodworking stuff that I do, which some of you may not have seen. If you haven't, you probably want to go and check some of those things out that I do with the wood. Go look at the Bedford tray, because I do some funky stuff that you're not meant to do with wood, and I do it, and well, you tell me what you think of the results. In here, now this has been very well built, right? So our steering column's all done, here, I'm going to turn this and you look over here. So see, our steering's all done. So we're all happy with that. Our accelerator is there, so that will be running through a cable. Boom. This is our brake, will be our brake pedal. So as you can see, this will be here like this, like that, and then down there is there. Can you see that? Yeah, so see that? Whoosh. All right, so this got a little like a little Hymie. We'll actually put a nicer Hymie on than that. So we'll then have a rod that runs through over to there. So here's our brake booster and master cylinder. So I will have to have a little, like a little trap door here to get to this. So as you can see, we have to sheet out all in here. You can see our door has all been, everything's been reinforced. So all the metal's in here. All the reinforcing's been done. It needs to be welded out. Okay, now we've got these bent. You can see that's actually bent. These RHSs to suit that. Same with our doors. Our door frame's done. Okay, we actually have all the door handles and locks, obviously not finished. So we have all that as well. Now, don't even look at this yet. We'll get to that. Now, I also have more of these bent RHSs at this profile to continue. So the plan is that we will go from here. We're going to come back to there. Now whether I decide to zoosh that up a bit, does that make sense, guys? If I push that up, or whether I just go dead straight, I'm not unsure. And basically it will just be a piece. Now we actually have, I'll get a bit ahead of myself, don't I actually have this piece here. It's like a piece that big, okay, which I can then basically use as my template to make this, and basically just extend it or whatever. But I actually have this piece here that's about that big, that has all this on it. Okay, so we've got the start to fab off. Now when we get to here, we're going to put an RHS going straight across and straight across there, in there, and then that will just be sheeted. Okay, that's how that will get finished. Bang, bang. Like that's very, very simple, that part of it. All right, now back here on the outside. What do they call them? Oh, the chassis covers, I can't think of what they're called. So they're brand new. We have an original one that was used as a template, and he had those two folded up, one for each side, and I think they cost him over $1,000 alone. So that's pretty cool. We have complete inner and outer guard here. And you can see it's got split here. You know, it's got a couple of little dents. Now we'll come back to that later. So the other side, I have the other outer, but I don't think I have the other inner. So we're gonna have to make another inner. So that will be quite interesting, because we're gonna have to, I don't know how we're gonna do that yet. We'll have to work that out. Probably have to English wheel it or something. So that'll be fun. I've never done that. I know a lot of you haven't done that, so we'll be teaching ourselves on that one. Alright, so that will be the guards, and then we've got the running boards. We've got one running board. I think it's actually, I think I've put it up there, I'm hoping. I think I've got it up there. So we've got one running guard. We have to make the second one for the other side. Now the tray is, this tray came with my 32. But it actually suits this car better, and I've got something pretty funky to do with my 32, I'm pretty sure. So now I do have another tray. The other tray's shorter. It's probably only that long, and then it goes like that, the other tray. Okay, so I don't think it's as big as this, and it does this weird little curvy thing. So, and I got it. I got the other tray. Now this, yesterday's video I said about how you got to go and find stuff and whatever. So the other tray, that tray there is worth $3,500. Okay, to go and buy that tray, it's $3.5 grand. Right? There's a lot of work goes into it. They can be made pretty easy. There is an easy way of making them, I'm telling you now. But this one's made pretty good. Now, the other tray I got, I paid $50 for. $50. That's right. Yeah, so I jumped on that. But again, I had to go and skull drag it back. So, and the other tray's pretty cool as well. But not sure if we're going to use it on this or not. I actually think this actually really suits this. So this morning I just put that wheel on a block of wood, just to show you roughly where the height. So there we go. That's sort of what I'm wanting the back to look like, high-wise. And then also the front wheel there, well, that wheel will have to go up 3 or 4 inches up into that guard. So the whole, so that running board and stuff will be 5 inches lower. So the car's going to be low, and I think that's going to look, I don't know, I think that'll look pretty mean. So there's our tray. This is all part of the tray. So that's just sitting, that's not bolted, that's not fab, that's nothing. I've just thrown it on there. I've got a bit of wood sitting there stopping it from falling. We got this is just put in with bolts here. Like normally we'd probably, I think we'll run like a little chain or something there. Is what we'll do there. And we got the little hinges and all stuff. Right? And then on the inside, I'm not unsure what I'm going to do in here. I'm probably going to run a bit of wood in there, I think. In there. Now that fuel tank will not be there. I think that fuel tank is out of a Mitsubishi L300 van from memory, and I'm not even sure if it came with this car, if it came with the 32. I actually cannot remember to save myself, but I think it will work in here, but I'm not going to put it there. I'll mount it underneath. It may even come in the back underneath in here, is what I'm thinking, but we'll look at that later. Fuel tank doesn't really bother me. Like we may even come up with you may even put a round tank in or something funky yet. We don't know. The seat, I'm not sure what he got the seat out of, but the seat was carton shut. So this was this here at the back here. This is what the cover of the seat was. But we're not doing that. We've got crocodile leather. So I've just set a little bit of the crocodile leather on here. This is probably the worst piece. This is real croc, not fake. This is aged vintage crocodile. Okay, now it's got a bit of mould on it because we've been it's been so water wet and humid in Queensland lately. But that's real. That's the real deal, man. Real deal banana peel. So we got that and that. Now I'm going to open this up and show you. Go over here. So here's some more bits of our croc, and basically they're the pieces I'm going to use, right? That's how I'm going to do it. Well, not those exact pieces, but those. It's going to look like that. And then I'm thinking, now I've actually sat in with this. Look at this cushion. Look at the croc. Like, look, this is freaking unreal leather, guys. Like, this is the Rigididge crocodile. This isn't stuff you buy from Spotlight, like pleather or anything. This is Rigididge, real crocodile. All right. So now we're thinking of doing that. Like, this will probably be bent under there, and whether that is just a velcroed in cushion or whether that's actually stitched into the seat, I'm unsure how I'm going to do that yet. But it is actually really, there's no foam. Like, the foam in there is not the foam. We will foam it properly, but that cushion, when you sit in that seat, you just go, get lost, man. You've turned your rat rod into a leather recliner. And then I'm actually thinking of these other ones. So these are the more. This is like the more nice croc. I'm just trying to show you the pattern. It is the real deal. And I'm actually thinking of maybe having them sort of in there. Like, it's all out of proportion, okay? But that's what I'm thinking of actually pumping out some cushion in there as well. Okay, so we'll get rid of those two bits. This is just to give you a visual of, like I've said, there's lots that goes on in here. It's not crickets. There's actually lots of cool ideas in there. And so I'm just trying to show you some of the things that run through my head. Now this here is still crocodile, but this is the belly. This is this thing of the croc. So that's why it's lighter and doesn't have the... So you see up close, you can actually see the backbone scales, basically. So that's the scales. And if you look really close, I can get you in there. Like, where's my finger? Lost my finger there. So see those little Yes. Well, they're the little humps. They're the little humps on the backbone, and they've all been shaved, right? So see, now this is got a little bit of wear, which I think, like, I actually like it. I wanted the wear on it. I don't even know if I'm going to fill you in of how this is eventuated. Some of you might be smart enough to work it out, some won't. Of where I've got this, how I've scored all this crocodile leather. Now I have an absolute ton of it, and if I had to go and buy it, I've probably got $20,000 at least worth of crocodile leather. So this is, like, I will get back. I'll get off track a bit, guys, but deal with it. This is the belly of the crocodile, and I'm thinking either this way we will do it, or we could even go, drop that, sorry. We could even go that way with it. So I'm thinking they're going to be our door cards. You see, that will actually all fit. So yeah, we could go either that way, or we can go that way. So that's what we'll do with our door cards, is what I'm thinking. We'll make door cards out of them. And I've got a few more of them, so we'll probably actually have that on the in here as well. We'll make little kick panels out of it. Same over there. We'll have another kick panel, and we'll have it this lined in here, and then also in here. This is where I was saying I might put that other little pillowy piece, and then when you sit in there, it is dead set. It is dead set like a recliner. I'm also thinking of putting another one of those little pillowy mounds in the centre, like, and it is just it's so comfortable, guys. All right, so we'll have proper. We'll be using proper foam, right? High density foam. The seat will look big. But then you get in it, and it will just be so comfortable. So I'm not an interior guy, but you'll go back, you'll see that I just bought a sewing machine and I have a crack at stuff. So I made the seat for my 32, and I've started making the interior for that, and it's coming up ridiculously good. So we're going to do the same with this. So that's the plan with the interior. We're going to have crocodile interior. No windows, of course. Back in here we got let's sit in it, eh? And let's make out we're going for a drive. Oh, it's already comfortable. Actually, I really like this car, eh? This really like it. So check that out. Hey, that's like, I'm big, you know, I'm a big boy. And look at that. Like, how often do you have these hot rods and you gotta crouch and sit there like this, and you know, same with my 32. My 32 has I think 6 inches chopped out of it, and it's been channeled about the same. Everyone says you can't have you're never going to fit in it, mate. They've all said that you're never going to fit in that little pickup when doing that to it. Well, I do. Now, the bloke I bought the 32 off, his seat was like this much padding. It was like thin, and my head was on the roof, and I didn't really fit. You look at my seat now; it's the same seat frame, but I've repadded it. It is now it's fatter than that in the padding. We're talking 10 inches of foam in it, but I've redesigned the shape so it actually pushes your bum forward and your back, and you sort of nearly lay in that car now, and all of a sudden I have 6 inches of headroom, leg room, everything. It's the most comfortablest thing ever. So it's all just in how you do the seat. Now, if you can see the way I'm sitting now, my bum is actually a little bit forward. So that little cushion that I put in here, in behind there, is actually, I don't know if you see that, but in the bottom of my back is basically like a lumbar support cushion that just works, a treat. Okay, so it may think it was going to look stupid, but it doesn't. Now, and if you look here, look where I am, and look where the door will be. See that there? So that other little cushion I was saying will just be in here, nice and snug in there. So yeah, but it all works in my head. Now we just got to put it into practicality. So we've got the old ratty shifter made. So this is another little, bit of engineering done. And this actually works. So like, see, you're not changing gears until you, boom. And that will actually, boom. If you see me change that, push that in. Okay. So we've actually got it all, it's all down there, it all works nice. Boom, boom, boom. So we got, what are we in? See? First, second, third, neutral, reverse, park. There we go, so that all works. Gauges wise, I was going to sell one of my little Suzukis. That's a little custom Suzuki I got, and I went and looked at it, and it's full of automated gauges and all that, so I might just nick them out of it and run some of them in here. We're all about saving costs, remember? So now we've got a sheet out the floor, of course. I'm pretty happy where he has the seat. The seat is higher, but I think it's okay. I can lower the seat if I decide, but I don't think I will. Now just imagine here we are. We're cruising down the. We'll put you behind me, and then you'll see better. There you go, cruising down the road like that. Like my head is just under the. The top of my head's probably. Where are we? Let's run that straight back. Bang! That's like the roof will be. My eyes are under it anyway. The top of my head's probably sticking out. See there better. So yeah, I'm probably sticking up, but who cares? There's no windscreen wipers in this one. I don't care what they say about that. If they want to make me do it, I'll put something in there temporary and then piss it back off. So that's where we're running with there. Right now the finish. What else we got? Oh, so we're all boxed in. The chassis boxed in. Rambled off a bit there. We're boxed. The chassis boxed from here at the moment to approximately here. So we just got to finish boxing the back of the chassis. We've got a independent Jag rear end that has to be put into it. I actually haven't really even sussed that out, but I'm pretty sure you cut, there's like a bolting frame that bolts into the Jags. I think you cut that out and you basically make a nice little sexy looking frame out of tube that will go in. So that will be our arse end. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close. I think about here is center. So yeah, I've pretty much got the wheel in the right spot. All right. We're going to keep those chassis tips hanging. Now I've got a real old, I'm not actually sure what it's off. It is old. Bumper bar up there that I'm going to put it on this. Right, we'll go. I'm going to have to now tell you my plan. My plan is to not paint this car. Paint. All right, so I will go. The wheels are off the Pontiac Parasine. If you remember, these are off the Taxi. These are those wheels. So, and they look at them. They actually work a treat. Now I've got 2 sets of Jag wheels. I've got a Series 1 and a Series 2 set of Jag wheels, but these look perfect. Now we'll come up close and you'll see they've got a little bit of pitting in them. Okay, so they weren't really up to scratch for my Pontiac, which is for my Pontiac 70, the Taxi. It's not really up to scratch for that because that's all getting a flash paint job. So a bit of rust on the wheels wasn't really suiting it, was it? So plus they made it look like a Taxi. Whereas on this, now I'll continue with what I was going to tell you. These are going to suit it perfectly. So the plan is we're not painting. Okay, we are going to have this ratty looking, but I'm not having just rust. See, at the moment it's just rust. We're not having just rust. So the plan is we're going to show you how to paint patina, basically. So here we got. It doesn't really show it up. This is like a bit of an eggshell colour. So You can see I've got a little trailer over there. I'll show you that in a minute. But see the colour, which is like a cream. So I'm gathering this was probably very similar. This was that cream colour. So my plan is to do a patina style paint with some cream. So now, what are you talking about? You're going, what are you talking about? It's already rusted. What are you doing? You're an idiot. Right, well, listen. So what we're going to do is we're going to get just some pressure packs. This is all you do. This is how you do it. You pressure packs. So we're going to get some white, some cream, some eggshell. We might even get a little bit of red, like the red primer look, and we'll squirt it around the place, right? And while it's wet, you rub it off and smear it around, okay? So this is how, you might see other people do it, but a lot of these people that do it are metal guys that do it, right? There's not too many guys that are actually can paint and have the artistic vision that I have, right? So to do it properly, you paint the cream. Imagine this as this was all painted and it's worn out, so it's not going to wear in these lows, is it? The lows are going to wear last, correct? So around there is going to wear last, isn't it? You know, it might wear a bit here, but I doubt it. But that low, so you can still see that low's still got a bit of paint on it. Well, all of these lows should still be, we're going to paint. Does that make sense? So we're going to paint, we're going to make sure that all the lows have got cream, eggshell paint in them. Okay, and then we will look at, right, this part here is behind the windscreen, so it wouldn't have weathered like this part would have. So we'll actually get a bit more of that paint in there. So what we'll do is we will probably spray a little bit of red around in areas, but here we're going to be creamy eggshell, like, and we're going to be pretty good paint in there. I want to show that there's pretty good paint there. Then as it flares out, like so here on this edge there, that would probably be a pretty hardcore wear spot, you know. So it may then go from the cream, it may actually go into a little bit of red. You may see a little bit of red of the primer where the paint's warm, but we're still seeing a little bit of primer. Then in an area that's copping hard weather, so under here, under the bonnet, you'd sort of expect to see paint, wouldn't you? Like you are here. Yeah, do you follow me or not? But then, like say here, where it's copping the most weather, that we'll leave that rust. We'll leave some rust there. We won't even get any paint on that. We'll leave that a little bit rusty. Okay, and then when it's all said and done, we will do what we do, and we will inox the whole car, over the paint, over the rust, everything, so it doesn't keep going further, right? So does that make sense? So say here we will have rust, then it would blend, and we might have a bit of red, and but then on all these lows, I want to see the cream. Okay, so here you can still see a bit of the. So is that following? So like on the guards, on this little lip, this little low, I want to see some paint. Yeah, like here we won't have any because like that's copping weather. And probably along the top, that will be rusty too. But maybe heading into there, we'll start to see a bit of the undercoat and a bit of then the cream and eggshell colours. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do the already rusty pieces. Right. Now with this, we've got some. This is why I've let this come outside, is to get some rust into it. We may actually even scuff this up a bit harder to get a bit more age into it, but we'll do a very similar process. So what we will do is you'll get down here and you'll spray some paint. Right, now you don't have to go stupid. You don't have to paint the whole thing solid. You just mist a bit of paint around, and then you like wear a glove or have a rag, and then you wipe it and smear it all around. All right. So that's why I'm saying with the eggshell we will use a bit of like a red for the front, but then we'll throw like a white and an eggshell, and we'll throw 2 or 3 different variants of that. You know, see it's got the little brownish that we'll probably even put a little bit of brown smear here and there, and you smear it all around right? And trust me, in the end of the day, it will look patinaed. But the issue that people do is they don't think about where the colour should be stronger. So the colour should be strong in all the low areas is where you should have colour. So like here, for argument's sake, that's going to be solid. That's going to be solid colour in there because it's not copping. It's not copping it, is it? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So coming this way, this edge here, maybe we'll get back to bare metal. But that edge in there, the inner edge, the low edge, will be our cream. So I hope that you follow that. Now when we do this, it will make a heap more sense of how I do it. And we will make these new pieces, we'll make look like our old pieces, but we're going to make our old pieces look better as well. Okay, so for all of you that say building rat rods is easy, well it is easier, but there is an art to making them look correct. Okay, now something else we're going to do is where we have like an issue here like this, right, what we're going to do is we will brace all this up and we'll get a couple of tacks on it, right? Then what my plan is I'm going to put an actual piece, might go like a little, see if we can do this, might go like a little triangle like that, say, right? A little piece that might go all the way out there, sort of thing, right? Is that, are you following that? It's got to go over the top, and then what we're going to tack that on, then we're going to do little stitches on it. You following me? We're going to actually make it look like stitches, like a piece of, like a patch, and it's been stitched on like you'd cut your hand and you had the lines, you know, like in the old days when you were a kid, you drew like a cut on you drew someone's, you know, you drew a line and you bang, 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 you know, that was your cut stitches. Well, we're going to do that with metal. Okay. Now, here's something else that I forgot to add with the patina paint is then once you've got the cream and the red and everything how you like it, then you come over with a bit of black at the end and you smear some black on, right? And then you make, the black will then make those colours, the cream, that will age that. We don't want the cream that is left to look like we just put it on. So yeah, the black will come in and age it again, right? So yeah, like I said, you have to follow it when we get to it. But when we get to it, you'll go, oh, you've got a bit of talent there, buddy, haven't you? So, and what we'll do here is when we've done this, we will do the same sort of thing, right? So on this patch, but what we'll do with this is we'll actually, see there's another little crack starting that looks like someone's sort of touched. Well, we'll put one there too. So we actually might have a big piece. You might have a big triangle. Trust me, this will look absolutely badass, all right? What we'll do then is we'll paint this black with the pressure pack and then wipe it all off. So the black will only be in the edges and around the little stitches. All right. I don't know if your brains are following that or not, but that's what we'll do. So that's what I'm thinking of doing down in here. We're going to do, so all our patchwork, we're going to have little plates that go over and we're going to stitch it. Now you'll see more of this because my next truck that I chop, the roof and whatever, that's how I'm going to join it back up. When I join it, I'm not going to get that fussy with the cuts fitting them perfectly. I'm just going to drop it down and I'm going to patch it that way. And the end result, you guys will freak at the end result. Now, we'll do that on wherever it's split, but we may even throw a couple of extras in around the place. We may even like put one of these little things here. You know what I mean? We might put one on the door here, like, you know, as well. So that's the plan with this. Then what we will also do, what I also want to make is, I want to make tail lights out of pistons. I think they look pretty cool. Like I said, I've got that old ratty rear bumper, and we will try to find I don't know what we're going to do with the front, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a, maybe put a in there. Yeah, so that's my Oakland. So hopefully you followed that. Probably half of you turned off. The ones that have stuck around to listen, hopefully you enjoyed looking at that. So it is going to be an absolute weapon, this car. It is, I believe, this is probably going to be my favourite car out of the lot. We've got all different styles, but this one, there's something special about this car. Oh, one more thing I will say before we go is, at the end of the day, when it's all finished and rah-rah, I think what we will make is, we will probably make a, we'll probably have a bit of, we'll leave this like maybe opened, capped, like a piece of RHS here or something, and we will make a roof that goes up, across, so it will go into these, is what I'm thinking, and maybe just have a pin, and the same at the back, we'll have it so that it pops into an RHS, and maybe we just pin it, and we'll make it out of, probably make it out of metal, and we'll have a little little hard top, is what I'm thinking, maybe a hard top. That's what I'm thinking, because yeah. So we'll do a move back, and it's a pretty long one, I think, just to show you around on the car, but I think this car's well going to be worth it. Right, so hopefully we can get this into the sheds sooner rather than later. As soon as my arm's better, I'm going to finish my carport, which then will bring the Chief out of the shed. I'll have the Bedford in the shed. I'm hoping to put this in the shed, and I'm hoping to have my 32 in the shed, because that will be back soon, and we will start that, and that's going to, I'm actually getting a little bit toey because I'm excited to start building that car. Alright, so something else. So I've got this bonnet as well. I'm not sure what it's off at all, but it kind of works. We need a little bit of trimming on it. The body lines here, this hump doesn't quite line up, but the actual sizings are pretty good. I don't really think it needs much chopping. It may actually need like a little triangle cut out, and like, because I think it's a little bit too wide for our nose. So we'll address that, but the back, I'm pretty sure the back is like correct size. So I'm pretty sure we're going to use this bonnet. And like I said, if we do this triangle, if we have to cut a little, you know, to compress this, so that may be like one there and then one at the back, or it might be one all the way or something. What we'll do is we'll do those stitch plates on it that I was talking about for the look. Okay, so those stitch plates are just, they're for two things. One is for the look, mainly for the look. Two is they can save you a ton of time, an absolute ton of time when it comes to doing, if you do a roof chop using that technique, you will save so much time doing it, and the end result looks absolutely insane. So you are not actually deteriorating your look, you're actually enhancing the look, especially if you're doing, like, you can't do that if you're gonna paint it black, you know, and build a show car. But if you're building a rat rod, it is one of the best looking things I've seen. All right, so heaps of rabbit on there. Yeah, we've done the, but we'll do it again. And thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll start getting some work done soon, and put out some videos of doing something. I've got a couple of jobs on the Bedford I want to start, so hopefully I don't know, my arm's not really improving, so I think I'm just going to have to pull up my big boy pants and suck it up and deal with the pain and start working again. So that's the plan. next week we're going to go do another walk around, but a more thorough walk around at the auctions. And yeah, all right, Reaper.